He said he would rather push this wooden truck in the river than give me credit. So many people have been asking for me to finish this wood truck that I started building for Will Hartzell. And the sad reality is I just can't finish it. I will give you all the details on why and the falling out and what happened in between, kind of summing everything up from the last couple of months. So this is where my idea to build a truck out of wood came up. And even though I had no woodworking experience, I kind of figured me and Will could pull it off, considering I thought he was really good at building stuff out of wood and I knew I could do the mechanic side. And this is where I kind of started to notice Will doesn't really build anything. He couldn't cut lines straight and he really just didn't know what half of the things were called. So after more conversations, I learned that Will used to build some stuff, but ultimately his grandfather helps with anything that's kind of complicated or that Will doesn't know how to do. So Will either pay someone to build everything or his grandfather builds it. He just makes videos with it, which was very shocking to me. The initial agreement also was I could film my own videos and he would shout out or repost, which I never asked for, but he said he would shout out or repost my videos to, give me even more of an incentive to help him pull this project off. Later on, this ended up turning into a nightmare considering Will was never really there while I was building stuff. He was with his OnlyFans, whatever. Also, the better my videos started to do, the more Will kind of complained and started acting weird towards it. Eventually, Will came to me and asked me not to post for a little bit until he posted first, which kind of seems suspicious, especially considering the fact that I never got credit and people were starting to tell him that I built everything for him. In the days following that, he told me I couldn't film anymore or he was pretty much going to fire me. And keep in mind, at this point, I had never gotten a shout out, never gotten any of my videos reposted, never asked for it, didn't really even want that. I just wanted to finish the project with Will. Obviously, I'm getting paid. He did do very good at that. He did cut some hours off every once in a while just because he felt like it wasn't worth it. And the most painful part of this conversation is we were talking and I was like, you can kind of give me credit. I won't post videos anymore. And he said he would rather push this wooden truck in the river than give me credit or allow someone to think that he did not build the whole thing. So I was very at a standstill because I didn't know what to do next. Stay working for this guy and lose out on all the incentives I thought was coming with it, or I can go divert my own way and then never finish this truck that I promised all these people I would do. And the worst part is I recorded this whole conversation so I could have something to kind of look back on and we could talk about it. And he saw me and he asked me to delete it. He continues to go back on everything he's ever told me from day one. Before the conversation was over, something came up and we agreed that we would finish the conversation tomorrow. This turned into him going to California and Hawaii for almost 2 weeks and saying he was going to call me multiple times during that time frame and never did. And then eventually he did. What he came to the agreement was we we're going to go back on everything, and I was like, you can maybe up the money or I won't film anymore. He was like, you can get 2 or 3 videos after it's done and you can get a video with whoever we take it to, which was supposed to be Danny Duncan, unfortunately. Fast forward sometime to last week and I finally got the truck running next day and he texts me at about 10 in the morning like, hey, what time you coming out today? Be out there later on in the day. He was like, okay, I might get somebody else to come help. Which is kind of suspicious and just very weird to me because he had never done that. And now that the truck was done, I kind of felt like I was being pushed out almost. An hour or 2 later, he called me and he was like, I'm gonna need you to delete all your videos, which was very strange. I was like, hold up. He was like, that's what we agreed on in Hawaii. Keep in mind, this is about a month ago at this point. So if it was really such a big issue, he would have asked me to delete them then. What pretty much happened is I did something that he couldn't do on his own. He got me to build the truck, get it to run, everything. And then once it finally got to a point where all he had to do was get someone to help him slap some walls up and, fenders and stuff, he didn't need me anymore. So pretty much Will was kind of finding a way to get me out or getting me to delete my videos, which obviously I was never going to be cool with. I've got millions of views on all my social platforms through these videos with this truck or my own videos, which he also takes credit for. But I built a 4-wheeler completely out of wood, and to everyone, Will's like, I built this 4-wheeler, blah, 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 blah. And now he's got it, and that's fine. He bought it from me. He cut my price in half. I'll fix the carburetor on it for him after he bought it, and he cut that time out of my hours, which was not communicated before I did it. It was going to be my hours, blah, blah, blah. But he ended up taking 4 or 5 hours off. With 23 an hour, that's a good bit of money. And it was not the first time or last time that he took hours off of my pay. Anyways, long story short, he manipulated every situation he could to get what he wanted out of it, and then he tried to get rid of it. And that's just not cool. That will never be cool. If you need to manipulate an 18-year-old kid to do your work for you, that is kind of embarrassing.